Hello, it's me, Sarah. How are you? Hello. Sarah is here. Hello. Oh, it's good to see you. How's everybody else doing? I apologize for being late today. I have had just a very exciting couple of days. Hello, Carmen. It's good to see you. You might notice I'm not sitting on the floor, which is nice. So it turns out my hip injury is actually a spine injury. And so, yes, no floor, yes. Sarah says I almost couldn't show up because I had to work late. Finished 15 minutes ago. Congrats. Oh, that's a good feeling. So, so yeah, I am now on some medications, excuse me, for my nerves, which makes me feel like very um Mrs. Bingley. Is that the right person? Who always says like, "Oh, my nerves." Um, so yeah. So there's something going on in my spine, probably the L5 vertebrae, but they're not sure till I get an MRI. And they couldn't schedule me for an MRI until June. So I'm going to be just kind of hanging out, hopefully being able to sit at the desk. This is very nice. It's nice not to hurt. Um, so yeah, hello, welcome to tonight's stream. I think things are going to be fairly low key tonight. I'm feeling fairly low key. We were at the hospital all day today. Um, yeah, and it's just very tired now. So, those of you who are here, let us know. How are you doing? What are you working on? Oh, thank you. JCK Andrews, thank you so much. Says feel better, Sarah. Thank you. You know, I'm already feeling better. I'm so happy I'm not sitting on the floor right now. I sat on the floor for like a month and a half, and it was just a lot. So, yes, it does feel good to clock out early. Yes. X Theorem, hello. I'm glad to see you here. Ah, I agree, feel better. Thank you, Carmen. So it's life is a fun adventure most of the time. So I hope everybody's feeling good. I don't know if you're feeling up for it, but I think I'm ready to do a little bit of creative work this evening. Alex, hello. You're mostly vertical. Yay. I know, I know. I think last time I was messaging you, like I was back there sitting on the floor at my little tray. Um, so I'm glad I'm not on the floor at my little tray. I actually like sat on the couch today after my meds kicked in. Um, so yeah, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm just happy that, because for so long the PT wasn't working, the physical therapy wasn't working. And I was like, oh, that means that, something is majorly wrong, something is torn, something is degrading, and I'm going to be feeling like this forever. And it's like, oh no, they just misdiagnosed it. It it wasn't my hip, it was one of my vertebrae. And so now that we know tentatively what it is, we can start. I have an MRI June 3rd, so we'll take a look at things then. Damien is here. Hello. Damien says, "Oh, hello. If it isn't Sarah Ray Werner and friends, I'm happy you remembered to tune into. I'm happy to see you. Thank you for being here, Damien. Oh, it feels good to be here. It feels good to be sitting in a chair, not on the floor. So, I know it is a ways out for the MRI, and it's like until then, I'm not sure if I should be taking like prednisone for like a full month. I don't know. We'll see. Um, so yeah, but I'm here and I'm sitting upright, and that makes me very happy. And you're here, and that makes me very happy. Let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable doing so. Let me know what you're looking to work on. If you've got a creative project you're working on, if you're gonna use tonight's time just to like play some video games. I know that's what Tim Prime is doing this evening. We both had a really long day. And yeah. So he's decompressing with some I don't actually know what he's playing, but oh. Damien says Katie mentioned I should tell you to hydrate, don't dehydrate. Yeah, I've got my water here. If you have your water, take a sip. It's good for you. Um, keep you young and healthy. Yeah. Sarah says I should be working on something, but my workday's stretched. Yep, nope. From 8 a.m. to 7:45 p.m. Nope, no work. Yep, game's 100% good. Sarah, that's good. That's healthy. That's balance. That's what we call balance. So, yeah, lots of loud traffic out. It's nice out today, so everybody's roaring up the street as per usual. I've got a cup of tea here with the tea bag right here. Um, do you have tea tonight? Do you have coffee? I hope you have water so that you don't dehydrate. I want you to stay healthy and feel good. Um, let's see. Oh, Alex says I'm just dropping by to say hi and looking forward to doing future create along. Later, I plan on working on the Ostium book once again. So I've been busy with other projects. I love that, Alex. That is fantastic. Carmen says I'll be knitting a scarf. JCK Andrews says I'll be starting Act 2 of my novel. Oh, a lot of projects here. This is beautiful. Hex Theorem says working on a final project for my object-oriented programming class, trying not to drown in Java classes, as opposed to drowning in Java. That was a bad coffee joke. So, oh, thank you, Damien. Thank you for the subscription. You are wonderful. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm working on. I took a few days off from uh writing Girl in Space just because I was in so much pain. And um I think it was probably a good thing. I go a little too hard and I don't take days off, and it's like, it's glamorizing hustle culture. It's glamorizing like being busy, and like it's actually not healthy or cool or good. It's like people who brag that they get, no sleep. It's like, okay, I mean that's like pretty hardcore, but also, stop doing that. So, yeah, so I have built in taking 2 days off a week now from writing. We'll see how that goes. I'm still going to be doing like journaling and stuff. Like I'm not going to put down the pen because I can't. It's welded to my hand. No, I'm kidding. It's not. But I've got my pen here, and I don't know. Writing every day, whether it is for myself or for a project or a project for myself, I don't know, it keeps me grounded. It keeps me processing. It keeps my brain alive. Um, I don't know. I'm one of those people. I think I write for the health benefits. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I have a really fun interview for you guys coming up for the Right Now podcast. I spoke with my very good friend Gabrielle Urbina 2 or 3 days ago, and yes, I did interview him from the floor um, because I was having a pain time, and we talked about writing motivation, and it's so interesting what drives different creators to create. So yeah, I'm curious for you, what drives you to create? Like, why are you doing this? Because I mean, writing is fun, but writing is also hard work. It's also difficult. It's stressful. Um, it is a lot to handle, a lot to remember, a lot to work on in your brain. For me, I've always written to create space for myself, to think, to exist, to be safe. And when I was talking with Gabrielle on Wednesday, Tuesday, I don't know. No, like the weeks don't even exist for me anymore. I don't even know what weeks are at this point. Um, he writes because he wants to see his work out in the world. And that's probably one of the reasons that I talk to a lot of writers, because I get to do that, because I get to hang out with you guys and I get to host a writing podcast, and that's just absolutely fantastic. that I get to do that. I'm very honored. And so I get to talk to a lot of writers about why they write. And my husband and partner, Tim Prime, is, I think, similar to Gabrielle. It's like, I have this gift and I feel compelled to use it. And it's most rewarding for Tim and Gabrielle to see their work out in the world and enjoyed by an audience. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna turn back here so I can see the comments. Sarah says, I create because I was 3 years old when my mom put a brush in my hand, all in 5 when she made me make a picture book. So I say it's her fault. Oh, mom's gonna mom. I like that. Alex says, I start to feel weird if I don't write. Alex, me too. Yes. Like I've forgotten to do something vital like eating or breathing. I feel that. I just have all these stories I want to tell and I want to find out what happens in them. I love that. Alex, I think I've talked about this on the Right Now podcast. Maybe if not recently, then, in the 10 years since I started doing the show, I get physically, I don't know if I want to use the word sick, but maybe I will. I get sick if I don't write for a long time. And I don't know if it's psychosomatic. I don't know if it is, I mean, who knows? Who knows what it is, right? But yeah, I also just I don't feel okay. I don't feel healthy. I don't feel like myself if I'm not doing something. If I take more than a few days off from writing. Carmen says I have to do something creative often so I don't go crazy. Yes, it doesn't have to be writing, but it often is. Yeah. Um, I've noticed that Tim, when he gets burned out from working on Omen, his podcast, he will switch and do something else, but he'll do something else that's creative in a different way. Like he loves to cook. And so, when Tim is just burned out on Omen, he will start making beautiful foods that I get to enjoy, and I'm very grateful for that. Oh, gotcha. Damien says, for me, it's to get these ideas out into the world. Yes, very, very, yes. If I don't, they just keep rolling around in my mind unrealized. It becomes insufferable for me. I need to exorcise those ideas. Yes. I think, boy, I feel that one too, Damien. Yeah. It gets cluttered up here, uncomfortably so. And yeah, I need to like exorcise, not exercise, but like exorcise, cast out some of those ideas. Sarah says, "Oh, okay. She didn't like playing with dolls, so she found some other ways to play with me." All right. That's a good compromise. That's a good compromise. Oh, thank you, Damien. Let's see. I keep wanting to say Jack Andrews, but I don't know if it's JCK Andrews. So I'm going to you just saying that says I've been deeply touched by works of fiction. Yeah. And if I could create that experience for someone else, that would be an amazing feeling. Yes. Putting back into the world what you've received. Like how generous. How that's like, I don't know, paying it forward in the best way. That resonates with me too. I wonder, we don't just have one reason that we create because as I'm sure that many of you are resonating with many of these different reasons that we create. And even if you don't create for a certain reason, like I don't create to show people my work, but when people notice my work, I feel very validated. It's rewarding, that feeling. Okay, okay. Jack Andrews. Okay, it's an abbreviation of my totally unnecessary pen name, Jack Andrews. I appreciate a totally unnecessary pen name. Yeah, I really like that. That's fantastic. Hex Theorem says when I'm actively creating, it's usually motivated by just being able to. Ooh, even if it's not good, even if it's not technically correct, sometimes it's just because the act of creating is a way to explore the relationship I have with myself. That is the act of creating as a way to explore the relationship I have with myself. Yes, that is beautifully put. Beautifully put. So, gosh, yeah, I mean, it's how I grow. Like, in understanding ourselves, I think too is an important part of how we grow. So, Absolutely. Alex says, whenever I read Stephen King, he makes me want to write with his incredible storytelling. And I read a lot of King, so yay. And like he's so prolific. You will, I mean, until a hopefully very long time from now, you will always have new Stephen King material to read. He is a, I don't want to say he's a machine because that like glorifies us like, churning out work like robots, which I've learned is not super healthy. Um, but yeah, Alex, the yeah, for me it's both it's movies and TV and books that I'm just reading or I'm watching and like all of a sudden, I get some people call it like the itch. I gotta go write something. Yeah, it's inspiring and that's a great word for it. No, yeah, I agree. Damien says to be fair, I'm not sure Mr. King's approach is super healthy, even if it works for him. That's very valid. I remember reading a piece on Danielle Steele, the very, very prolific romance, drama, adventure writer. I don't know if you've read any of her stuff, but she's fairly famous. And apparently, she doesn't sleep, or she sleeps like an hour a night and she has insomnia. And the only way she can get through the night is if she just writes the whole time, which is why she's so incredibly prolific. And so, like, yeah, she has a huge body of work, but at what cost? What are you doing to your body? So, you mean locking yourself out of life is not healthy? Yes, well put, Sarah. Writing is great and healthy and fun, but it's probably also good to do some things that are not writing. And speaking of writing and not writing, I'm gonna check on YouTube, make sure. Okay, we're good. No. Um, should we dive into things? Should we knit the scarves and write the books and move on to Act Two? And I know you have to go, Alex, but I'll be thinking about you and your ostium novel. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I know. Damien says writing for at least 8 hours a day, whether you want to or not. That is a really good way to, in my experience, again, and I'm very relativistic when it comes to writing. I don't think there's like necessarily right or wrong ways to do it. I think, what works for you. And what does not work for me is writing 8 hours a day every day, 365 days a year. That is not sustainable for me if I also want to stay like physically and mentally healthy, right? Because there's always people who will make that sacrifice and they'll, medicate like self-medicate and things like that to like produce more, but it's all about, what you need for your creative journey. So, yes, Carmen says yes, let's do it. Fantastic. If you've hello, also welcome. If you've been to one of my streams before, I'm Sarah. Hello. And basically, how this works is we're just going to hang out here for a little over an hour. And how this works is the chat will stay live. If you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, you can continue to comment and have conversations in the chat. It just won't show on the screen here. Um, but I will be here. I'll be glancing over at your comments. I'm going to be working on my own stuff. I still haven't figured out what I'm doing yet today. I might do some writing. I have my as you know, I do love handwriting. So I've got Girl in Space season 2 here that I'm going to pick back up, I think. Also got an essay that I'm working on. Yeah, I'm going to go quiet. You're welcome to put on whatever sounds good to you in the background in your own space. Oh, thank you. Alex says happy creativity. Thank you. I'm glad you're able to stop by. It's good to see you. Yeah, it's not even reasonable. Yeah. Yes, we've locked ourselves in the 8 hours a day is normal. It's not reasonable. Well, we can blame the Industrial Revolution for that. I don't know. Well, okay, sorry. I could go on like a whole tangent that I won't go. Oh, you're gonna. Okay. Damien says working on the script for episode 2 of this. Oh, of Scarlet. I also started dropping some social media teasers. Good. Ahead of our crowdfunding. Wish me luck, friends. Good. Good luck, Damien. I love it. And you can probably find Damien's well, is your crowdfunder out yet? ahead of your crowdfunding. Okay, I can read, I promise. But let us know when that goes live so that we can cheer you on and support you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So now you can see on my screen here, it says currently writing until 8:45 p.m. CT. So whatever time that is for you, whatever time zone you are in, that's when I'll be coming back. And if you want, you're welcome to come back. This is a very free and easy space. So if you need to leave, just do your thing. Life calls, and I understand that. But yeah, you're welcome to stick with us the whole time. When we come back at 8:45 p.m. CT, we will talk about just how it went, how we're feeling, if there were any creative blocks that we ran into, etc. But yeah, you ready? All right, I'm gonna mute myself so they don't hear me like muttering to myself and typing. But yeah, good luck, and I'll see you back here shortly. All right. Okay. So how are people feeling? It's 8:45. It's here. We're coming back. Did you get some writing slash knitting done? How are you feeling? Hello. Okay. A solid 800 words. Good job, Damien. Iris, where are you going, buddy? Here? I have a lot of like papers and books precariously stacked here. We'll give him a little treat and open the window. Damien, that's wonderful. How are you feeling about it? That's a good spot to stop for the evening. That's wonderful. What did I end up working on tonight? So I did some journaling catch up, and then I had to go lay down for a few minutes. And then when I came back, I had some paperwork to fill out and send in because sometimes you have to acknowledge when your creative energies are not present and it's been a long day. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use this time to get something done that I hate. So I made a big PDF document and sent it off, and I can actually like check that off my list. So I feel really good about that. Oh, Carmen, I feel that. Carmen says I did like 2 rows. Seriously, having trouble focusing on things. Yes. Wow, 12:09 and 45 minutes. Heck yeah, Carrie. That's fantastic. I have never been a fast writer. I know that I was working on paperwork tonight, but like if I would have done creative stuff maximum in like a little over an hour, I would have gotten maybe 200 words. And it's just, you know, I've spent at least the last 10 years trying to write faster, and the last couple of those years trying to make my peace with the fact that I might just be kind of slow. And I don't know, I've talked with my sister about this. She's also a writer, and she's also a slow writer, and we've been talking about acceptance and when you should accept and make your peace with something and just acknowledge that that's part of who you are, or when you should buckle down and like really try to fix something about yourself. So that's me and what my word count often looks like. Yes. Hex Theorem says reorganized my code but didn't add anything to it. My project partner is going to be thrilled slash sarcasm. Yay. Oh, project partner. You don't even know. Yes. Yeah, Damien says not exciting but necessary as long as you aren't doing the thing you mentioned, hate doing in an early Right Now podcast. Yes. That is taking up maintenance, yes, responses and other stuff to avoid writing. Yes. I think that's a really good point, Damien. That's like a really fine line. That's and we can often be, and I've done this too, we can often be dishonest with ourselves. And the reluctance to work on something, we can define that or interpret it to mean that we can't work on something or that our creative juices are have run dry, and or like you said, procrastination of like, well, I hate doing paperwork, but if I'm doing paperwork, I don't have to face this challenging scene that needs to be rewritten, or I don't need to correct this character arc that doesn't really work. So it's I think my sister and I also talked about, in addition to acceptance, we talked about like being honest with yourself and acknowledging like, yeah, I'm in a place where either I can't work on this or I don't want to work on this. And it's not only a really fine line, but it's one that I think we willingly blur sometimes. Absolutely. Harry says I'm behind and mad about some stuff. So they were speedy spite words. Harry, that's wonderful. I don't know if I have it here. Yes, I do. So I plan my next Right Now podcast episodes. And for episode 168, so for the next episode, I don't know if you can see this, but it says writing out of spite. So this is good stuff. I am a big fan of writing out of spite. So I'm really glad that you did that. Honestly, most, not most, well, maybe most. I don't have the data on it, but a lot of my best writing gets done when I'm doing it out of spite. So take that as you will. Maybe calling back to our earlier conversation about like what drives us to write and create. Maybe sometimes it's spite a little bit. So, oh gosh. So, I did need to run away and lay down. So, for those of you who maybe weren't here for the beginning of the stream or maybe just didn't hear this part, so I've been sitting on the floor the last few weeks over there against my bookshelf because I had what we thought was a hip tendon injury. And after 6 weeks of physical therapy, it turns out that, well, my first clue is that the physical therapy was not working. So, yeah, I went back into the orthopedist today, and it turns out it's a spinal injury. And so sitting up has been, I mean, it kind of explains a little bit more why it's hard for me to sit. Like the hip injury was like, yeah, but a muscle shouldn't be hurting that bad. A tendon shouldn't be hurting that bad. Anyway, I'm on a lot of painkillers right now. And I'm also extremely tired because apparently healing takes a lot of energy for whatever reason. Um, so yeah, so I might go ahead and call things just a few minutes early, and just go lay down and forget about the world for a minute. Carrie says it was a fun scene to write. The female main character's boyfriend confesses he loves her in the middle of an argument. Oh, and her response is, I dot 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 don't know. Oh, it's awkward and he's so crushed, but I love it so much. I do love a juicy drama. I love that, Carrie. Ugh. Yeah, yeah, Damien, yeah, says Katie is dealing with a lot of this kind of stuff. She's pretty much at a tough spot between hypermobile and EDS. Oh my gosh, so there's always something going wrong. Oh my gosh. Send her my empathy and my sympathy and all of that. Oh, Hex Theorem says spinal injuries are no joke. I ended up leaving my job in September to assist my mom, who had 3 spinal fusions after a spinal injury last summer. Take care of yourself. I actually do also have a fully fused spine. So it's why you won't see me. I wouldn't do like stretches or aerobics on this stream anyway, because it's a writing stream. But yeah, I had a really severe scoliosis. And so when I was 16, they went ahead and like fully fused my spine. Um, and they did it with like the metal rods on either side. But then 2 years later, the rods got super infected and they had to take the rod, they had to like chip the rods back out. So it's just like one big bone. And then there's like 2 vertebrae at the bottom, the L4 and the L5, I think, that are not fused. And it's one of those 2 vertebrae that's giving me an issue right now. So thank you. Oh, thank you all for your empathy and your kind words. Yes, no aerobics writing sessions. We can do any type of writing sessions. Um, we can maybe have some like live chickens running around, or I can like blast some like EDM music or literally anything, but I will not be leading us in aerobics while we write. It's like goat yoga. Have you ever seen goat yoga where like you're doing yoga and there's goats everywhere, except we wouldn't be doing the yoga part. I would just invite some tiny goats to run around my office. And actually, that would be either a really bad idea or like the best idea I've ever had. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on goat riding sessions. Um, yes. How are we both thinking about goats? Oh my gosh, Damien. We're like, okay, I'm not going to say we're a hive mind. I'm not going to say it. I am glad to be back streaming. I know I have missed the last few sessions again because, you know, injury in life and all things, but I'm glad to be back. I'm really glad that you're here. You make this such a treat, and I look forward to it. I look forward to it so much. So we do these create alongs, very chill create alongs, every Wednesday and Friday. Sorry, that was a car with no muffler zooming up my street. We do these create alongs every Wednesday and Friday evening. Um, I had been doing the Friday night create alongs between 5 to 9 p.m. And I was kind of realizing that like 4 hours was a long time for me to be like sitting on the floor and not moving and being on a camera. So I'm gonna try. I think this Friday we're just gonna do the same as tonight, so 7 to 9 p.m. Central. If that's something you need to adjust on your calendar, I would love for you to be here for that. I would love to see you. If you can't make it, that's totally fine. These are super chill and casual, and as always, you have no obligation to be here or anything. So, oh, you can do yoga in a chair. Oh, oh, that's really cool. My work used to have yoga for employees in the before times. I miss the before time. The instructor adapted for people with mobility issues. Oh my gosh. Jimmy says sorry to butt in. Oh my gosh. But goat yoga might be bad for your spine. I have so many feelings about that sentence, but I do love a pun. I appreciate it, Jimmy. Thank you. Oh, Damien might actually be here on Friday. Wonderful. Huh. Apparently there's like a lot of yoga types that I did not know existed. So, okay. It is 2 minutes to 9, and I'm going to sign off 2 minutes early. So, thank you for being here. As always, you make this world a better place, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being you, as always. And if you are so inclined, I invite you to return. You're always welcome. So if you miss a few sessions, you can come back whenever. Uh, Come back. It's Wednesday and Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central. Um, and maybe that'll added more to. That was not grammatically correct over the summer. We'll see how people are feeling. But yeah, this is wonderful. You are wonderful. I'm going to go away now, and hopefully you will have a wonderful evening. All right. Bye for now.